Believe it or not, spring training is upon us, like we said. So one of the biggest headlines this offseason I want to start off with are some of the comments made from the Seattle Mariners CEO. A lot of players felt insulted, and rightly so. Bob, what's been the biggest reaction from around the league to his comments, specifically from players?
Well, just appalled. How stupid can you be to say that publicly? The big question is, hey, this guy's not hanging around the clubhouse. This guy's not, around the baseball ops. Where did he come up with these things? A lot of the players, to be honest, are kind of saying, thank you for saying this, because it's what we all thought, particularly with the service manipulation, and glad you said it publicly. I know we're going back, and it's almost like back in the Al Campanis days when he said the racial comments on Nightline, and all of a sudden woke up baseball to start hiring, black managers and GMs. In this case, the union's going to use this to say, look what baseball does with the service, manipulating the service time. So these rookies are kept down unless they sign club favorite contracts. So the union loves it. They're going to use this as Exhibit 1A when it comes to that topic.
And Gabe, is Mather's comments an anomaly, or is this just the prevailing culture amongst the high levels of baseball and how they perceive the players?
Yeah, it's tough to say that it's sort of the collective sentiment because we're talking about 30 teams, 30 owners, 30 club presidents like Mather, but certainly the sentiment exists, and it really feels like in recent years, ownership has taken a real bare knuckles approach to collective bargaining and to pretty much giving the players an inch on anything. The average salary has gone down 3 years in a row, which is almost unheard of after decades of basically going up. And franchise values continue to go up. So the players are really kind of, they're like a caged lion right now and really wanting to kind of fight back. And to Bob's point, it's really interesting. The Mariners president was able to articulate things in a way that even the players couldn't, because fans would typically tune them out. But it's rare for players to get something of a public relations victory because everybody just sees, oh, they're greedy players, they're millionaires to play a kid's game, forgetting the fact that the owners are worth billions. So it's a rare public relations boon to them, and may not really materially affect how the negotiations go, just because those are going to be pretty nasty and contentious regardless of what's said or not said in the public sphere. But if nothing else, it might give the players a little bit of a wind at their back as they kind of fight the battle of public opinion.
Yeah, and what feels so crazy about Mather's comments is that so many of baseball's youngest stars are of Latin descent. No one exemplifies, I think, this more than, San Diego's Fernando Tatis. He just got 14 years, $340 million. Steve, what does a deal like this say about him and also how the Padres view their window as contenders?
Well, I think, first of all, it says San Diego is definitely committed to winning, and winning with this young man leading the way for the next decade plus. I think he has everything that you want in a franchise player. He's exciting. He can do so many different things. And I think he's a great example of what the young players that are coming up through the majors right now can provide for the game. They can give it a jolt of excitement. And when Major League Baseball is worried about, where are the fans going to be, is the baseball fan base aging to the point where there aren't going to be new fans? If you have more players like Fernando Tatis, you're going to get a lot more new young fans.
Bob, when a contract like this happens, like Fernando's, the natural question, I think, is who's next? Aaron Judge and Juan Soto come to mind, but who is the next in line from what you're hearing, and who could be that next player to crack the 400 million mark?
I mean, it would probably be Juan Soto, but I just don't see it coming right now. He's represented by Scott Boras, and Boras prefers to go, year to year. Certainly, we have 5 great shortstops who are all free agents at the end of the season. But I'm not sure any of them crack 400. If anybody will, it'd be Francisco Lindor, who's 5 years older than Tatis, but certainly, much more in his resume, a superstar. Tatis only played 143 games. So if anybody's going to crack 400, it would probably be Lindor. and we'll see if someone cracks 500 one day. Maybe Tatis would have if he went year by year without going on, the long-term contract.